What is going on, my fishing freaks? Welcome back to another exciting episode. So today we're going to do a comprehensive review of the brand new Daiwa Zillion SV TW. Now a lot of you guys are going to say, wait a minute, Nick, it's not brand new. It came out in 2021, mid 2021 to be exact. And yeah, you're absolutely correct. It did come out like early summer 2021 and I've owned it since then. But in my humble opinion, in my eyes, I still think it's a brand new model. It's very current for even 2022 and even 2023, maybe 2024 until new technology comes out. And I want to talk about everything that encompasses this Daiwa SV TW, which actually this is the JDM model, which we'll get into that. What's the difference between the US model and all that good stuff. Welcome to the channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Nick. I'm an inshore saltwater fisherman. I target redfish, flounder, and speckled trout here off the Texas coast. And they say if you want to know if your reel or fishing equipment will last freshwater, well, fish it in saltwater. And believe me, guys, I fish a lot, probably over 100 times a year, and I post videos frequently. So if you're looking for a good fishing channel, why don't you subscribe to my channel right now? And I'm ready to give you my humble opinion about this Daiwa SV TW. So without further ado, let's go down to the bird's eye view and let's talk about all the specs, performance, looks, and value, and all that good stuff. As I stated before, this is the JDM model, and straight up, it is made in Japan. Look at this right here. Just to prove to you guys, see if it focuses right there. Made in Japan. Yeah, very, very nice reel. And you know, honestly, I did an unboxing video explaining my plans to use this reel and how I feel it'll fit into my tackle arsenal and all that good stuff. If you haven't watched the video, it's linked right over here, one of these two corners. I encourage you guys to check it out. It got a lot of views because a lot of you guys actually are really interested in the Daiwa Zillion SV TW. Yeah, let's get into it. Japan versus USA. So there is a US model of this Daiwa Zillion SV TW, and there's a couple of main differences that I want to talk about. First, the US model has brass gearing, whereas this JDM model here that I have in my hand that's made in Japan does not have brass gearing. It has aluminum gearing. So a lot of guys will actually argue and say, well, brass gearing is stronger, it'll last longer, you can throw heavier crankbaits, top waters, plugs, things of that nature, especially if you're freshwater fishing for bass. And yeah, that's absolutely true and that's absolutely correct. But however, I like to use my reels for light action lures, almost BFS to the point. And I tell you what, Zillion can actually almost handle BFS compared to like the Aldebaran BFS and even some of the brand new Daiwa BFS models like the Gekabijin. That's how versatile it is. So yeah, brass gears for the US model, aluminum gears for the Japanese model. Therefore, the US model is going to weigh 6.7 ounces, whereas the JDM model weighs 6.17 ounces. And that right there is the main difference. And the other main difference I already just talked about, the US model is not made in Japan. It is made in Thailand, unfortunately. But the JDM model, once more, here you guys go. So you can see it right here. I'm proof that I'm not lying. It is actually made in Japan. If you care about those things, to be frank, I care about it. That's why I bought the JDM model, because I want a Japanese reel. I just honestly, in my humble opinion, and through my experience, I feel like the Japanese, when it's manufactured and assembled and just straight up made in Japan, it is a better quality. You want brass gearing? Get the US model, and it's a little bit heavier. Now that we talked about the Japanese versus US version of the Zillion SV TW, let's go and talk about the specs really quick. I'm going to give you the specs of the JDM market. Once again, there's not much difference except the weight and the brass gearing. The brass gearing is heavier, therefore the US market weighs a little bit more. But yeah, this is a 100 size reel, and it comes in both right-handed and left-handed. As you see, I am actually a left-handed user, so I have a left-handed model. And it comes in many different gear ratios. It's available in the 5.5, 6.3, 7.1, and 8.5 gear ratio. I myself personally am using the 8.5, as you can see right there, 8.5. I like my gear ratio a little bit more aggressive. If I need to slow down, I just slow down my retrieve. So I just like to have that versatility. The JDM weight, once again, is 175 grains, which equates to 6.17 ounces, versus the US market, which has brass gearing, which weighs 6.7 ounces. The spool diameter is the same as the US market, it is 34 millimeter, which actually makes this a really ultra versatile reel that's able to throw small lures as well as big lures. Okay, now that we talked about the specs, let's talk about looks because in my honest opinion, if you've been following me, it has to look good as well as perform good. I mentioned this many times in my other videos, is that fishing is a mentality game. You have to be in the right mindset, have a good attitude, and therefore you'll be able to catch fish. I absolutely love the color scheme on this reel. It's that mute chrome color. It's dark and stealthy and actually low light here. And then when you have bright light, when you're out in the sun, this colorway really comes to life. It really pops. You know, all in all, I think this is a very handsome, very nice looking reel. Just love the lines, the design. It's very modern looking compared to the reels. Like if you look at the Metanium is very nice looking also. But to be frank, honestly, the Daiwa Zillion is more aggressive looking. It's wider. It looks great. The lines are great. It flows really nicely. It fits once again very nicely in my hand. You know, and to be frank, I really think this is going to be a classic look for years to come. I think a lot of people that look at certain Corrado models as classics, you know, with Shimano, I have a feeling they might look at this Daiwa Zillion the same way. All right, let's talk about the most important aspect of this review, and that's performance. And bottom line, frankly, this reel really performs. I mean, the versatility of this reel to cast small lures from 1/8 ounce up to the heavier lures, up to 1 ounce is strictly amazing. I mean, words can't really describe. This is a high performance, very, very, very great, capable reel that can handle small lures, almost like I said, BFS, to heavier lures. So, I mean, versatility, it's its middle name. You can fish for small panfish. You can fish for big redfish. You can even fish for, you know, that trophy share lunker bass if you're a freshwater fisherman. It casts lures at respectable distances with ease since you have the hyperdrive technology from Daiwa. Hyperdrive meaning that it incorporates like the clutch, the braking system, the housing, everything. It's under that hyper umbrella, and this Daiwa model does contain it. I mean, all the best from Daiwa in this little package. And honestly, you know, to be frank, I wouldn't say it's the longest casting reel out there. I mean, even if you compare it to Metanium, the Metanium will outcast it by, I would say, about 5 feet. But all in all, the package of this reel, how small it is compared to like Metanium, how much more lighter it is, and the ability to run neck to neck with something like the Shimano Metanium or another different reel in its class, it's beyond amazing. If casting distance is one of your big things and you just want a reel that's going to cast for like 1,000 yards or something like that, then look into 13 Fishing or Lose. I mean, they have a bunch of models that you can cast because, I mean, casting distance rather, it's something that's, I think, beaten to death, and it shouldn't be like the main thing you look at a reel, to be frank. I know, don't get me wrong, it is important. You need something to cast far because it'll give you that ability to cover more water. But however, in my humble opinion, when I do reviews or I'm looking for a reel, you know, casting distance is important, but it's not the most important thing. Also, the magnetic braking system is brilliant. Not only does it work together with this hyperdrive system that Daiwa says that's their main technology in this reel, but the braking system is magnetic, and it's one of their high-end magnetic braking systems they offer in any of their reels and their models, even their top line. I mean, this thing has been so smooth, so versatile. I'm able to select different numbers of braking, and it's real versatile. I can customize it to the type of lure I'm using. I mean, this thing is really, really nice. You know, as I stated earlier in the beginning, I am a inshore angler, and my equipment takes a beatdown here off the Texas coast. Honestly, beatdown is probably an understatement. I mean, it goes through hell and back, and I have to have my equipment working because I am depending on my equipment to make videos for you guys on YouTube, and I post consistently. Check out my videos. I have close to 500 fishing videos. A lot of them of me catching big redfish, flounder, speckled trout here off the Texas coast on my kayak. So I'm dealing with high salinity levels in our bay systems. I'm also dealing with muddy, brackish water in our marsh system. But this reel has taken a beating. I've logged over 100 trips using this reel, caught so many big redfish and flounder, and you know what? Guess what? It's still smooth, and I had absolutely zero problems with it. As you can see, it's showing some wear and tear with scratches. Let me see if I can focus, like right there. Let's see. You can't really see in the light, but there's fine scratches from it banging around in my truck. I think there's another, like a little nick here somewhere. I can't remember exactly where. I think that's it right there, if you can see it. Hopefully you can see in the light. The clutch is a little bit sticky now. That just tells me I need to get it fully maintained pretty soon. But, you know, honestly, I kind of hold off until the end. I generally, when I finish fishing, I wipe it down with a damp cotton cloth or towel, and I never spray it down. I do provide oil at the critical parts here and the ball bearings, and, you know, it's lasted me no problems. I've caught a lot of fish. I mean, honestly, this is probably one of the most durable reels I have ever owned in my collection. Let's talk about value. And I already can see you a lot of guys out there cringe at the price tag of $349.99 for the United States model, USDM market model. In Japan, once again, this retails for around 42,800 yen, which equates to around 370, 380 bucks US dollar. I honestly, in my humble opinion, honestly, guys, I don't think it's worth $349 US dollars. I would say it's more worth 299 bucks. And you know what? If you can buy it for less than $299, I think that's a great value and a heck of a deal. And my friends at Digitaka.com has this in stock, right-handed, left-handed, all different gear ratios for 280 bucks shipped to your door. And honestly, that is a great price. And that, to me, I would give 5 stars for value. Less than $300 for this reel is a bargain in my humble. It's honestly a 5-finger discount if it comes down to it, with all the technology and how versatile and how nice this reel is. So it all boils down to this. Do I recommend the Daiwa Zillion SV TW? And to be frank, if you haven't really figured that out by now, based on my acclaim and praise, I don't know what to tell you. But yes, bottom line is 100%. I 100%, 1,000% recommend you purchase the Zillion SV TW. This is probably one of those reels that you'll purchase and you'll keep for 10 years if you maintain it, you clean it, you take good care of it, and it's going to catch you a lot of fish, and it's going to bring you a lot of enjoyment out in the water because, number one, it looks good, it feels good, and it just outperforms, man. The drag system. Oh, I didn't tell you guys. Look, it has a drag clicker. A lot of you guys, that's important these days. That's the trend with the bait casting reels. And this one, it comes with a drag clicker, fear not. So yeah, that's also great, especially when you're fighting a big fish. Let me hear your comments. I want to know what you guys think. If you disagree with me, do you think it's actually not as good as the Shimano Metanium, which in my opinion is also another great reel, which I did a review on. If you haven't seen, go and check it out. But yeah, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much. I love every single one of you guys. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.